Do you remember over the recent weeks when the diverse and tolerant left crucified those of us who dared to express some concern over drag queen story time taking place right across the country, but most recently in Melbourne, and our concerns about what these types of events are doing to our children? Well, have a look at this video taken at a Pride rally in Manhattan this weekend. Yeah, they're admitting it. They're coming for your children. Nothing to see here, no problems. Why can't kids be kids? Why is it that drag queens only want to read to young children? Why don't they go to the senior citizens and read to them? Maybe that would bell the cat on the agenda. Say no to this poison. Let children enjoy their lives.
Shalom. I would like to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Wakakwadash. I would like to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to all you sincere Akim, pushing this word across the four corners of the world. Just another news update through the spirit, the power, and the vibration of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And I have an article from foxnews.com, and the title says, NYC drag marchers chant, "We're coming for your children" during Pride event. And this was published on June 25th, 2023. And as you can see right here, it says, controversial group Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence attended event. LGBTQ activists in New York City's annual drag queen parade chanted, "We're here, we're queer, we're coming for your children" in Manhattan on Friday. The group of hundreds of drag queens and other members of the LGBTQ community marched through NYC's Tompkins Square Park. The drag march parade kicked off NYC's Pride Weekend, which marks the anniversary of the 1969 Stonewall riots, a major moment in the success of gay rights in the U.S. Friday's drag march went through NYC's East Village and ended at the Stonewall Inn. Video shared on social media showed that in addition to chants about coming for your children, marchers could be heard saying, "We're here, we're queer, we're not going shopping." Members of the radical LGBT group Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence could be seen throughout the Friday event. And as you can see, these abominations right here. And it says right here, thousands of protesters arrived outside Dodger Stadium prior to the June 17 game where the group was set to be honored. The protesters held signs declaring, "Men cannot be nuns, sisters," while others bore Bible verses. The Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence are a satirical performance and activist organization. They are a self-described leading-edge order of queer and trans nuns. The group also has raised funds for LGBTQ causes. But just highlighting the point of this lesson, how it says NYC drag marchers chant, "We're coming for your children," which is a very demonic agenda that has been set forth ages ago of the wicked elite's plans, where they are coming for the younger generation, which means that they know that they are easily impressionable or influenced to imprint their abominable agenda on the minds of the children, and to have this alphabet movement as the standard of social norm. And this is all in order to forge this NWO. And the crazy thing about it, we haven't seen nothing yet because it's going to get even crazier than this. Which brings me to the title of this lesson about hastening his coming. Who's coming? Yahweh Shai is coming. And when you haste something, that means that you are hurrying or rushing, or you want some type of urgency or movement or action. So spiritually, by the sincere prophets of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, in a sense, we are forcing the hands of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai to act swiftly about bringing forth a harsh judgment upon this sinful kingdom, America, also known as Babylon the Great according to the Holy Bible. And that's by us continually complaining. And that takes me to Isaiah 62:6. "I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace day nor night. Ye that make mention of the Lord Yahweh, keep not silence." And a watchman is someone that's employed to keep guard or stand on watch. And that's the pure authority Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai gave unto his righteous and true prophets within these last days. As it says in Ezekiel 3:17, "Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore hear the word in my mouth and give them warning from me." So therefore we're supposed to caution our people to abstain or flee from the shadow of this world. by spiritually detaching away from this society, because as the times goes, it's getting more darker and more vile out here. So again, I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace day nor night. Ye that make mention of the Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, keep not silence. So we're supposed to continue to complain unto Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. As it says in Ezekiel the 9th chapter, about those special Israelite men that was marked for exemption from judgment, that was crying and sighing for all the abominations done in the midst thereof. And what we read at the beginning of this video are nothing but abominations, which goes into like a detestable, filthy act. And that's the type of twisted and degenerate behavior that America promotes, and where they are heavily promoting this moral corruption upon the children. And we, as the hopeful elect, being those true prisoners of war, are looking forward to our true spiritual Bell's bondsman, referring to Yahushua, to physically release us and set us forth free. And that takes me to Isaiah 51:14. The captive exile hasteneth that he may be loose. So who are those captives or those prisoners of war? The Israelites, and more so the hopeful elect out of the nation of Israel, who are the true worshipers of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. We are the ones with that spiritual mindset that we want to be free from confinement or imprisonment. Whereas the majority of our people look at America or wherever they are scattered to as their continuing city. This hellhole is their happily ever after. They are in it for the long haul. But in actuality, we're supposed to be hastening his coming. So the captive exile hastening that he may be loose and that he should not die in a pit, going into this Edomite supremacy system, which is nothing but a trap, especially if you are spiritually and emotionally invested into this place, nor that his bread should fail. And let's prove that even more we are prisoners within this captivity. And that takes me to Isaiah, the 42nd chapter and the 22nd verse. But this is a people robbed and spoiled. We as a whole, as the Israelites, are deprived and destroyed from knowing our true power source, Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. Deprived and destroyed from knowing our true biblical nationality, being the Israelites, the Most High's chosen people out of all nations upon this earth. And also deprived and destroyed from knowing who our true biblical arch enemies are, which are these other nations. And these are the consequences for us departing and transgressing against Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai's laws. And as it says in the book of Daniel 9:12, how the Most High brought upon us a great evil, and this type of evil, hence the curses, has never been done under the whole heaven as it has been done upon Jerusalem, the Israelites. So the Israelites are definitely that people being robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses. They are for a prey and none deliver it, for a spoil and none said restore. And no matter where we are scattered unto across the four corners of the earth, which also pertains to the curses, we are prisoners of war. And that's because this whole earth is likened unto a prison planet that was authorized by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai to give the earth unto the hand of the wicked. That's referring to Esau Edom. So by his wicked vibration, all the 12 tribes of Israel, no matter where we are scattered unto, are in a prison planet. But spiritually and mentally, our people are still snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses. Via the various strongholds Esau has systematically designed for our people to be in. And the majority of our people are so down and out spiritually and mentally, that type of madness that we read at the beginning of this video, they will have no problem with. And that's a form of mental slavery. And mental slavery is far more dangerous than physical slavery. And I came across a quote, and it goes into, it gives you the illusion of freedom, makes you trust, love, and defend your oppressor while making an enemy of those who are trying to free you or open your eyes. And we already know through the Spirit that we cannot free our people because, as it says, no man should buy thee. That type of authority was and is only given to Yahushua. But the point remains that the majority of our people do not know they are in the form of slavery. Nor are they spiritually inclined to know the many divine judgments Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is going to bring upon this place America, that's walking after those same patterns as ancient Sodom, Gomorrah, and those other 3 ancient Canaanite cities. And that takes me to 2 Peter 2:6 in the NLT. Later, the Most High condemned the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah and turned them into heaps of ashes. He made them an example of what will happen to ungodly people. So obviously this unwise judge, Esau Edom, is not taking the memo serious. Because as it says in the book of Psalm, how they do a diligent search, they know exactly what happened to those ancient Canaanite cities by going after strange flesh and ungodly lusts. And here it is, America's walking after that same low vibration. Verse 7, but the Most High also rescued Lot out of Sodom because he was a righteous man who was sick of the shameful immorality of the wicked people around him. So just Lot represents the same mindset as the hopeful elect in this day of time, in spiritual Sodom and Gomorrah, and that's referencing to America. By being vexed in the spirit of the filthy conversation of the wicked, the same shameful perversion and degeneracy. Verse 8, yes, Lot was a righteous man who was tormented in his soul by the wickedness he saw and heard day after day. And from this title alone, NYC drag marchers chant, "We are coming for your children" during pride events. So these types of freaks and weirdos are boldly and proudly showing their lewdness and indecency, which are telltale signs that Yahushua is literally around the corner. And that's because pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. And let's also link that up with 2 Ezra 8 and 50. For many great miseries should be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. In this particular month, which is June, is classified as gay pride, which are two character traits that are considered as abominations unto death. But the beautiful thing about this, the left hand will never overthrow the right hand. The left hand representing the tabernacle of Esau Edom, beginning with the higher ups, the so-called powers that be that's orchestrating all this madness, will never overthrow the right hand, representing Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua along with the angels and also the true and righteous prophets and believers of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. So what Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua is doing, they have a spiritual RICO case upon America, beginning with Esau's rulership. And what we are doing through the Spirit and utilizing us by being those true watchmen, continually bringing out those charges and accusations unto the judge, referencing to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua throughout Esau's sentence. This is like a spiritual inquisition. Esau is being interrogated. And that takes me to 2 Peter 3 and 9. The Lord is not slack concerning his promise. And one of the major parts of that promise is the elder should serve the younger, which means that the Edomites are going to serve the Israelites in the next kingdom to come. As some men count slackness, but it's long suffering to usward, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. And that alludes to the nation of Israel, beginning with the hopeful elect. Verse 10, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens should pass away with a great noise, and the elements should melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up. And this alphabet movement being paraded around and being highly elevated within the society, then proudly promoting their abominable agenda upon the children, are some of the hurtful works that's done within America and really throughout the whole world. So very soon that vibration, along with those people pushing out that vibration, are going to be burnt up. Verse 11, seeing then that all these things should be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness? And here's the point, verse 12, looking for and hasting, again going into the excessive speed or urgency of movement or action, like spiritually forcing the hand of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua to bring forth a swift divine judgment upon the proudful inhabitants of America. So looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, wherein the heavens being on fire should be dissolved and the elements should melt with fervent heat. So Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua is about to perform a great sacrifice within Basra, and that's referencing to America. And all of these undesirables referencing to these heathen nations within America, and also 2/3 of our people who are likened unto these heathen nations, are going to be those sacrifices or burnt offerings that's brought upon that great altar, America. And our mindset by being those true worshipers of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, verse 13, nevertheless we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness. And the word new goes into the Greek word kainos, which goes into refresh or renewed. This earth is going to be likened unto the days of old, like the times of Adam, but on a very much higher level. And that's what we're looking forward to. And we already know through the spirit that a rulership or a society pushing forth this type of immorality cannot stand for long. So therefore, continue to hasten his coming. So I brought this up. You always edify, you always stay strong, keep pushing forward. Shalom.